Hello everybody. Today our chapter is about rational and irrational numbers. Before we talk about them, let's see the different kinds of numbers that we have seen in the previous years. Whole numbers or natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we know numbers go to infinity. I'm talking here about the positive numbers. Another kind of numbers is integers. They include positive and negative numbers. Decimal numbers containing the decimal point, for example here 3.2, the numbers before the point here 3 is called integral part, and after the point it's the decimal part. Another kind, periodic numbers. When we talk about periodic numbers, I mean that the decimal part has no end. It's repeating over and over. For example, 0.33333, this one I can represent it as 0.3 bar. This bar written above the 3 means that number 3 is repeating over and over. The same 0.666, I can write it 0.6 bar. 0.12 or 1 to 1 to 1 to, here I can express it as 0.12 bar. Okay, this sign means that the numbers below it are repeated over and over. And our lesson is about rational number. Rational number could be written as a fraction. Example, 1/2 minus 3/7. It can be positive or negative, and we will talk about it later. Now, some of the notes. Every whole number is an integer. What do you mean by that? 2 and plus 2 is the same. 9 can be written as plus 9, and so on. Every integer is a decimal number. Why? -3 can be written as -3.0. It's the same. The decimal part here is 0. It makes no sense, so I can write it or not. Every decimal number is irrational. How? 3.2 can be written as 32/10. It's in the form of a fraction. Its denominator 10 is different from 0. So we can say it's a decimal number that can be expressed and be written as a rational number. Every periodic number is rational. Here 3.666, as we said before, we can write it as 3.6 and bar, since 6 is repeated over and over. By using calculator, and we will see later on how to write it as in the form of a fraction, 3.6 bar is 11/3, since it can be written in the form of fraction a/b, where 3 is different from 0, so I can say that this number is a rational number. Now, how can I know that a given number is rational or not? As a definition, a rational number is a number that can be written in the form of a/b, where a, the numerator, is an integer, so it can be positive, negative, or 0. But b is a non-zero integer. b, which is the denominator, it can be positive or negative, but it cannot be 0, since if I say, for example, 5/0, it's not defined, so I can, for example, 6, it can be written as 6/1. A is the numerator, which is 6, it's an integer. B, 1, is also an integer, so it can be written in the form of a fraction a/b. Then 6 is a rational number. Similarly, Minus 6 is also a rational number because it can be written as minus 6 over 1 in the form of fraction where the denominator is different from 0 so that the fraction is defined. Now, what about 2.3? It can be written as 23 over 10. So 2.3 is a rational number. 1.52 is 152 over 100. Since we have 2 digits in the decimal part, so it's over 100. And I can say that 1.52 is a rational number. 0.5 bar means that it's 0.555555 and so on. It doesn't end, it's periodic. And since it's periodic, it can be written as 5 over 9. We cannot write it as 5 over 10 since 5 over 10 is 0.5 and that's it. But 5 over 9 is 0.5555 and so on. Here, when you say that under the bar sign only one digit in the fraction, I write only 9 in the denominator. But when I say 0.12 bar, it's 0.121212 and so on. It's repeated, it doesn't terminate, so I can write it in the form of 12 over 99. If I'm talking about 0.12 only, I can write it 12 over 100. But since it's 0.12 bar, it's 12 over 99. A periodic number whose decimal part is unlimited, it's repeated, periodic, is written as an integral part plus period over 999. How many times? When I know that I can write only 9 or 99 or 999, how to know that? I always look at the decimal part. If it's composed of only one digit, I write a fraction over 9. If 2 digits in the decimal part, I write 99. If 3 digits, I have to write in the denominator 999 and so on. Here, for example, 3.6 bar, it's 3 plus 6 over 9, since it's 0.6 bar. By adding it together and writing the same denominator, 3 can be written over 1, so it's 27 over 9. So 27 plus 6, it's 33 over 9, which can be written as 11 over 3. You can check it directly by using your calculator. Similarly, 1.21, it's 1 plus 21 bar can be written as 21 over 99. By writing the same denominator, the final answer after simplification will be 40 over 33. Now, what about irrational numbers? I know that as a conclusion before, a rational number can be written in the form of a fraction. But irrational number is a number that cannot be written in the form of a fraction. A over B. For example, a radical 3. By using your calculator, radical 3 equals to 1.7320508007, etc. It doesn't end, it's not repeated. I can't use the bar sign. So I can't write it in the form of a fraction A over B. So it's a rational number. Radical 4 equals to 2. 2 can be written in the form of a rational number. It can be written as 2 over 1, so it's considered as a rational number. Radical 7, it's 2.64575513 and so on. It doesn't end, it doesn't terminate, it's not repeated. So it cannot be written in the form of a fraction A over B, so it's not a rational number. And the numbers that are not rational are called irrational numbers. Similarly, pi represents the number 3.141592 and so on. It doesn't end, it's not repeated the decimal part. I'm talking here about the decimal part. so I cannot write it in the form of a fraction, so it's an irrational number. Now, real numbers composed of rational and irrational numbers together. So, a rational, either it's natural, integer, decimal, periodic, and irrational number are called real numbers. Now, as a homework, you have to indicate which of the following are rational numbers. Again, as a conclusion, you have to check each number. Ask yourself, can I write it in the form of a fraction a over b? Please, if you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me. Bye-bye.